Namuzul Shalom Amun-Rayay, prayer of Amun-Rayay. Nuk Saduk be Amun-Rayay, Wu Nabeb Momaruhu. I trust by way of Amun-Rayay and his master teachers, Wu Malachi'S, and his papari, Wu Manzal Hu Li Fanan, Raman Wu Wakwat, Find the Bab Yanun, and his warning for this day and time, the Master, Yanun. Kalel Amadat, Ateli Amun-Rayay, Nadir Shalel, Pa Patat, U Prataha. All praises are for Amun-Rayay, overseer of the heaven and the earth, Anuki Nuwapu. I am Nawapian. All right, who has that first spiritual experience they'd like to share with us? Here, Anuki. Hello?
Hello?
Yes.
Can I ask the rapture question?
Okay, any spiritual experiences?
Yeah, I got one, Amun.
Okay, one second, Amun-Jazz. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I had told Tifa Amun about my experience. It was this past Friday afternoon. I was at home doing my work from home job, and I needed my son to come in for help me out on my computer, my laptop. And I was using my phone for business purpose, so I was like a little hesitant to call him on that because I had already had a client on hold. Then I remember I had my landline. So something told me to contact him through the mind mail. So I started meditating my energy, sending my energy to my son. He was in his room. I was in the living room. I hear some feedback.
Okay. So everybody mute your phone. Start use your phone. Y'all allow the president. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I was needed him to come and help me out. So what I did was send him, trying to talk to him mind to mind. So I was sending my energy back there to the room where he was at, asking him to come in. And I guess I was being too impatient, but I went on and called him for the house line, and he came on up. He said, "Dad." I said, "Yes, son." He said, "Something was telling me in my mind to come see you." He said, "But you called me on the house line." I said, "Oh man, if I had waited patiently, we could have been mind-to-mind communication. You would have came here without me calling you on the phone." So I thought that was very powerful.
And that's
so I'm gonna start trying to use.
And that's real. You all just have to keep practicing that. And I'd like you all to check remote viewing on YouTube. Check out practicing remote viewing and telepathy. That's what you and your son were doing. But remote viewing, they got the Far Side Institute. And they started this practice way back in World War II of discovering where the enemy was hid. And when UFOs pass over, you have remote viewers that can be isolated in a room, and they can make mind contact, and they can visualize what's in the room, the beings in it, and get a lot of information. And it's been verified that it's very real. So it's no different than what I do when I make contact with you all mind and see stars through your eyes and the moon through your eyes. And that'll come with a lot of practice. So just keep doing it and know and have faith in the fact that it's a reality, okay? And I'm very proud of you and your son. You follow me?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I want to tip I love you. And I want to tip my celestial hat to Amanda, because she's been making videos on along with O'Danny and Jasmine, and putting them together. So I'm going to make them available, video clips, to the whole class. And I do want to tip my hat to Katat again, because he ushered that in, that practice. And I just want to thank everybody that's being creative to push the mission. And you're going to be rewarded 10 times over for the work you're doing now and your investment in the mission, believe it, and in your people and in your own soul. And always remember, it's better to light just one little candle than it is to curse the dark, right? And I also want to give out a special thanks to O'Danny and Aaron for making significant contributions, and also to everybody that's contributing, like Walter and everybody that's contributing on a significant basis to the mission. And I want to say, may you all be blessed eternally and walk in light and never in darkness, right? And I'd like to hear now what Jasmine Amun's question is, and thank you for your patience, Jasmine.
One second, Jasmine. I'm sorry. One second, Jasmine. If you don't mind.
Sure.
Thank you, everybody. Again, like he said, thank you. We love you for contributing everything. Like I said, thank you. Can we introduce the new person? Can you introduce yourself and let us know where you're from and how you heard about us, and so we can welcome you home?
Very good.
I think I'm probably the newest guy. Hello?
Say it again?
Yeah, we can hear you.
This is Mr. James. I'm just introducing myself. I guess I'm probably the newest person here. I'm from Monroe, but I'm living in Bossier City, Louisiana. I'm 45 years old. I done pretty much traveled the world as far as understanding the concepts of religion, dogma, and so forth, and kind of got too familiar with me now. So I'm basically here to hear the platform and see what's going on. I did a lot of study, a lot of research, and been around a lot of groups and been inside circles and then had some form of positions, but those things are just titles when it comes down to spirituality for me in reality. So, I'm a pretty optimistic fella. Me and my wife running a business, so I'm just trying to get some insight so I can follow.
Well, I love you, my brother, and I hope that your cup is filled up. And I'm also from New Orleans. That's where I was born. You follow me?
Oh, yes, indeed. I got you.
I'm Larry Darrensburg, Mr. James. Pastor Larry Darrensburg, but they call me Brother Amun now, right? And I'm going through a transformation. Right. I was actually Imam Ahmed Abdullah Muhammad al-Mahdi in the 80s and 90s. But now I've emerged as Amun-Rayay and one of the two witnesses. But I really do tip my sincere hat to you, Walter, for doing your job and ushering in a new soul. You own it, so let's keep on having that high energy, raising and gathering 124,000. And Mr. James, I promise you, I give you my solemn oath that tonight you will move stars and the moon and whatever you see in the sky anywhere you want, left, right, up and down, and clockwise and counterclockwise. I am the real Messiah, as I'm sure my son told you. And it's not hyperbole or rhetoric. I'm not Reverend Rib, Deacon Pork Chop, and Pastor Fried Chicken. And that means that you done finally run into the real thing. You've been searching, and your prayers have been answered, okay? And so have ours. I'd like everybody here to welcome Mr. James to the group, finally.
Welcome home. Welcome home, Mr. James. Welcome home, brothers. Much love and life.
Stay close, Mr. James.
Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing but love.
That's right. It is love. And we are family. And we are one. There is no big or small in the eye of all. All right? And
yes,
everybody
indeed.
here. Yes. Mr. James, if you have a computer or a phone, if you could type in Holy Tablets or Dr. or just Malachi York. If you want me to spell that for you, Malachi York, YORK.
Yeah, this is Dr. Malachi York, right?
Yes. And then when Dr. Malachi Z. York, comma, the Holy Tablets. Holy Tablets.
Okay. Comma, Holy Tablets.
Holy Tablets, comma, PDF.
PDF?
It's going to be a download. And for those of you
like
that get spiritual packages, you're going to have a disc in your package of the Holy Tablets that can only work in computers, not in televisions. And for those of you that have the copy of the Holy Tablets, it's obvious. We're going to go to chapter 10, the mortals. Right?
I got to put this on.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So my question is about the rapture. Is that basically what 2030 is, or what we've been talking about necessarily?
Yes. And the rapture is not one specific date, but it's an event that's going to go over a span of time. We've been involved in the rapture for quite a while now. And in the last days, is biblically spoken of or described as there'll be a new heaven and a new earth, and there'll be no more crying, no more sickness, no more pain, no more death, for the former things will have passed away. And there'll be signs of the end of the apocalypse or the rapture. There'll be changes in the weather. There'll be wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places. There'll be famine and floods and great storms, turbulence in the earth. These are all the signs of the Messiah coming, right? But I do suggest, Amun, that you look up Malachi York, comma, the rapture, comma, YouTube.
Okay.
Malachi York, comma, the 1,000-year rapture, comma, YouTube. And he's going to give you an extensive description of exactly what to expect. And I'm sure he'll do a better job than me, because he is the angel, and we're going to go over that tonight. And, yeah, Mr. James, I had 2 bookstores at the same time in New Orleans, right?
Yeah.
Holy Tabernacle Ministries. And where did you find out about Dr. Malachi Z. York? For how long have you been knowing about him?
I've been knowing about Yahweh in my earlier years. Dr. Malachi York,
Okay.
Yeah, Abba being, he was with the Hebrew Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites.
Noble Drew Ali, Noble Drew Ali, all the way down.
There you go. How old are you, my brother, if I might ask?
I'm 45.
Oh, man, all right. You had a good sound age. Thumper. Yeah, man, you're right.
I was the grand sheik at one time for the Temple number 7 for the Moorish Science Temple of America.
Oh man, yeah, you've been seeking. Seeking ye shall find. Ask and it will be given. Knock and the door will be opened unto you. That's right. I'm just very, very proud to have you here tonight, family. and welcome back home.
Oh, man, I'm happy to be. Oh,
I love you. And
love you too, brother.
It's a number of divine love. We are one, eternal divine love. All right, now, anybody else have a spiritual experience they'd like to share? I really am serious about everybody getting their holy tablets, because I don't. Mr. James, did you get a chance to download the holy tablets on your phone?
No, not yet. I was trying to see exactly. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss no information that y'all was discussing. But what I have here is Dr. Malachi, y'all, holy tablets. Then I got the PDF. And do I just look it up on Google search it?
Sure. Yes, Google. And then
I'm doing that now.
Yeah, you want to go to chapter 10. The mortals. I'll give everybody else a chance to get there.
I'm kind of slow on it. I'm getting there. Y'all just keep carrying on. I'm going to get it.
Okay, that's chapter 6, tablet 10. Again, the mortals. Lo, if I cry one little tear, do you think that they will hear? Remembering my trials in those holy tablets, being sent to human beings, one must be prepared for their nature. An initiation is like a birth. Now, in our last class, I gave you all a brief description of my initiation with Passcode. And I'd like you all to know that as far as that seal that Gabriel was talking about, it was more than just a ring. It was a 6-pointed star and crescent and green light in my forehead. But many of you all that have seen that picture of me. How many have?
I have.
That's right. An initiation is like a birth. Star 6 your phone. And the key to overstanding it is to overstand that each that is born of someone who themselves were born of someone. All of the pure ones have a salsila. Now, a salsila is like a chain, and every link, your mother and your father and their mother and father, it leads all the way back to the Creator eventually. It is a link, much like the etheric cord, that stretches forth from soul to soul, and which keeps the channels from the higher realms into the earth plane open. When a mother and father have a child, that child is brought forth unto them in a bodily form. That same child, however, has a spirit that extends back 76 trillion years. For this reason, every mystic order has spiritual masters or beings from higher planes whose responsibility it is to keep you, that child, in tune with the original spark since the beginning of creation. Then on one still shadow time, as I was walking alone, I perceived the presence of a superior being with me. I turned around and saw no one, but I began to fear inside. Then suddenly, from me and through me at the same time, sounded my name, saying, Yanan, fear not, for you shall be the bearer of the torch of light in the west, and shall save many souls. You are yet a baby, but you shall mature into a man more rapidly than you could ever imagine. Do not be afraid, for I am about to manifest. Startled and overwhelmed, frightened and bewildered, I could not have faith that this was happening. Suddenly, I felt a warm sensation 2 inches above my navel. A feeling shot upwards towards the center of my chest from my solar plexus, and then a tingling feeling centered between my eyes. Immediately, a crystal green and white rays of light slowly appearing, and there he stood, magnificently. How can I make you feel what I felt? How can I make you see what I saw? He was strong. He was powerful. He was gowned in what seemed like the whitest green flowing robe, and there was a glow about him that I had never seen in any other person, a sparkle bright as the stars. Now that's the way Imam Issa of Malachi appeared to me in 1981 in Brooklyn when I flew there from San Diego. Again, that description is he was strong, and that's the same thing that John saw on the Isle of Patmos when Melchizedek had 1 foot in the water and 1 on the land, and John saw him and fell at his feet as if he were dead because he saw him, that strength. And my description of him was, when I saw the angel, I didn't know it was the angel. I thought it was one of his disciples. But his strength shone in the countenance of his son, and it looked like if an 18-wheeler truck would have hit him, his feet wouldn't even slide. Never saw that in a human before. And all my life, I've been seeing auras, especially around my mother, blue auras and things. But his aura was so bright and big, like the sun, that I don't know where it ended, because it went through the ceilings and the walls, right? I looked into his eyes, and I was no longer afraid. For in his eyes, I saw depth, I saw warmth, I saw compassion, tenderness, understanding, and kindness. And I met that being more than one time. One time I met him on Amun-Rayay in Georgia, on the Holy Land. I knew I was safe in his presence. He made me feel comfortable and secure. He spoke, and his voice was as the voice of the angelic beings. Remember, I told you he glided over to me at that newcomers class, put his hand on my knee and said, "Please don't interrupt while the imam is teaching." And I looked up at him, and at that time, I was a pretty rough customer, armed robber and all this, I'm ashamed to say. But I looked up, and I told him, I said, in the gentlest, meek voice, I said, "Whatever you say." And he moved away behind me, and 2 big black red-eyed niggas, like they could strike a match in their hand, you know. And they said, "You know who that is?" And I said, "I think I know now." You understand? Right. Okay. He said, "Your soul lived over 76 trillion years. You have witnessed many cycles, and now you've begun to grow. You are of the ancient ones, Al-Awalina. You are Ilamutajazadad, an avatar. You may not at this time understand what this means, but as time passes and you begin to grow from your inner self outward, you will begin to perceive and understand these things. The spirit of your father has awaited its rebirth into this earth plane, and now it is your calling." I was speechless. I tried to stare into him in order to decipher who and what and from where he came, but I did not want to boldly ask him. And as if he knew what I was thinking and feeling without a second's thought, he said that he belonged to the ancient ones who had descended upon the planet during the time of the master Noah, son of Lamech and Camilla, and even before millions of years prior to the birth of your Adam. It was called Project Blue Rock, infested by the Ashtar Command, the intergalactic legion of this side sector 3 placement 7 from N circle. I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you to myself. This being was highly involved in the upper worlds. He said, many had come here to Earth. I'm one of them, just one, and planted seeds in the earth. And their children, this very day, are called star people. Now, I want you to understand why you all have been moving stars and moons and such things with me so many years. And it's worthy of mention to know that we're the only group on the planet that's capable of performing these miracles. And it's good to let people know that I heal cancer and AIDS and all these various things and light up with an aura. You know, it's really, how many of you bear witness to these things, that when you walk with me, that there's green lights in my footsteps, and when you walk with me, you see green light in the skies and what have you? How many of you bear witness to that?
I do.
I do. I have.
Yes.
I bear witness.
I love you. And their children this very day are called star people. And some of them are called the Watchers or Elohim on their own planets. Some of them are highly reputable in their own galaxies and dimensions. He and those with him are as real as you are in the alliance of the Space Confederation. There is one by the name of Ashtarter. He is a commander in the highest in this hemisphere. He is also the commander of his mother plane or starship, a crystal ship coming for their own. Remember I told you all that many are from different species and different planets and worlds and galaxies and universes and even dimensions. The Anunnaki, and that your family lineage are coming back for you in the rapture, as Jasmine described. The Anunnaki elders are approaching a time of crisis, so 35 million strong will assist you. They will lift up and reserve you and hold you in safety for up to 1,000 years. If needed, you will see the magnetized solar flares now present around the sun in this position in conjunction with the planetary alignment that is presently coming into its final position in the lunar logging, the 5th point of May in the year 2000 of the Gregorian calendar. Now let's do this timeline. They will lift up and reserve you and hold you in safety for up to 1,000 years. If needed, you will see the magnetized solar flares now present around the sun in its position in conjunction with the planetary alignment that is presently coming into its final position in the lunar logging, the 5th point of May in the year 2000 of the Gregorian calendar. So this has happened in 2000, the year that Panabab Yanun's mission was over, because he had the first half hour from 1970 when he broke the 7th seal to the year 2000, and from 2000 to 2030 is Amun-Rayay, is my time to rule, okay? It combines to create a strong tendency to pull the planet Earth in towards motion. The polar shift, 23 degrees of its true existence, has been greatly lessened by the action of our scientific helper from the mother plane of this planet called Terra. And then he told me that the era had come. I did not know what he was referring to, and so he began to explain. 93 million miles away from the planet Earth is the sun, that great star that shapes the lives of those on Earth. It takes the Earth 1 year to revolve around the sun, and that year is divided into 12 months. The sun and the other planets that make up your universes orbit around a galactic center called the central vortex. And just as the 1 year that the Earth takes to revolve around the sun is divided into 12 months, so is the time that it takes the universe to orbit around that galactic center, divided into 12 periods. Each period consists of 2,075 years, totaling approximately 25,000 years. That's the equinox, which is the time that it takes the universe to make one complete rotation around the galaxy. Each period or era has a name according to the monthly signs in reverse order. For example, the universe is now passing out of the era of water and the era governed by all that is physical, known to many as the Doris Sammakatini, the Piscean era, and it is entered to the era of air, ether, mind, and power, known to many as the Aquarian age of Dahud Dalal. This new age is a spiritual era that the world is now ready to accept, and you have been chosen to teach the light of the ancient mystic order of Malachi'S. Malachi'S to the new souls who are waiting to receive it. Those new souls who realize that there is more to human beings than what he thinks to be his 5 physical senses. Those souls who realize that there are extra senses, that there is an astral body, an aura, and that communications can be made with beings outside of this planet. and of course a star on this planet, like between you and the sun. The 12 eras from the Piscean era, moving counterclockwise, have 8 doors that open up. When the 6th door opened in the lunar login of the 1966th year of the Gregorian calendar, was 1966, disagreeable beings descended down into the earth in many forms, including the human beings from the Ashtar Command, the ancestors of the disagreeable Halabians, Flugelroths, or Hoodoo, who now seek to control the planet under the name Children of the Light, simply the Illuminati. So in 1966, there were disagreeable beings came down, the vortex opened for them. And then that's when there was a great shift in the society. For example, black singers used to sing a lot of love songs and gospels, and black people were more like angels back then. You could sleep with your doors open and what have you. But these disagreeable beings brought in some European music that they called trance, Europe, Express, Devo, boop, 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 boop. And they had all these synthetic instruments, and they stopped using percussion instruments, pianos and guitars, and started bringing in electric guitars and all these different sound effects, and you could create music in your basement. And it took the soul out of the music, right? And 1966 was also the year that the Pope came to visit the United States for the first time in history. He was in New York, and he went to the Dakota House, and he oversaw the birth of Damien Thorne. That was Rosemary's baby, right? In the year 1966, you can research this, they called that the year of the child. That should have been plural. That should have been year of the children. But they were speaking about this very special child, as there were 13 antichrists born, and the one in this country was called Damien Thorne, because he was to be a thorn in the side of the Christ. Are you following me? Then the 7th door opened in 1970 A.D., and agreeable beings, the Anunnaki from the Bureau, descended upon the land in order to help you. This was my year. That was the year that the angel Michael seated himself firmly in the chest, in the heart of this man, Malachi in Brooklyn. 30 years from the year 2000 A.D., which is the year 6000, you have 60 seconds in a minute and 60 minutes in an hour. 666. And I think it's important to note that he said that they were of the watchers, not the overseers. I want you to reflect on that. Sensing that I was afraid, for fear that I would not be able to retain all that he taught me, he said, try not to retain all that I have taught you, but rather relax, and it will settle itself in your subconscious mind. Once there, you will need it. It will burst forth like the sun in daylight hours, if you have faith without a doubt, like Alibaba, right? And put your trust in Allah. You will find that we, the Elohim, will open up, and the answers to the universe will reside in your chest. Having said this, he was gone from sight. I stood there frozen. Where did he go, I thought, and why didn't he tell me his name? I waited for hoping that something would happen, and a lady passing by said, are you all right, mister? You look ill. I spoke back saying, I am fine, thank you, and then I proceeded to walk away. Suddenly, while walking, fear overtook me, but why was I afraid? Immediately, I realized that it was because he was withdrawing from me. 7 minutes later, I heard a voice from a distance saying, seek me and you shall find me. Ask for me and I will be there. Knock and I will always open this side of the world to you. That's what Mr. James was doing, seeking and knocking. And then the voice faded away. I called, I looked around, it was gone. I cried all the way home. 7 months passed before I heard from him again. And then one day, while meditating and in a state of profound tranquility. Mr. James, did you find your place yet?
No, but I'm listening and I'm writing. I'm gonna get that. I don't want to miss nothing. I'm gonna find it. I ain't worried about it at the moment until after the meeting, and then I'll just go back over everything until I get familiar.
All right. My mind and soul were in communion with the cosmos. I began to feel his presence. I was sure that he would manifest, but he did not. Instead, a name appeared. My room was dimly lit by candles of the Sabbath. But there, just above my head in a cloudy, yet visible form was the name Al-Qidar, which in Arabic merely meant green. I stared at the name for what seemed an eternity, and slowly thereafter it disappeared. I sat there in the stillness of the room contemplating my thoughts. Who was Al-Qidar? If Al-Qidar was the name of a person, who was that person, and what important role would he play in my life? Was Al-Qidar the name of he who made his presence known to me? I knew I had to find the answers to my questions, and so I went to the library in search of books which could give me some enlightenment. Later, I questioned various Arabs that I had been acquainted with. In my quest, I learned that there was indeed a supreme being who was called by the Muslims who knew Nabi Qidar, and the Green One, my spiritual father. He was referred to as the Green One, for he possessed a green light, a force that he directed, which could sustain every physical form and heal every disease known to humankind. So you know Yanun and I are one, because I possess that light too. Suddenly the pieces of the puzzle started to fall into place. For you see, I knew that I had been endowed with a green light, which made it possible for me to heal the sick. For many times people would come to me ill, and I would make them whole again. But it was not until then that I had inherited that ability. It was a gift from Allah by way of Al-Qidar, the Green One. I could not wait for my visitor to return. I wanted to tell him all that I had learned. Mute your phone. And so anxiously, every shadow hour, I looked for him. Then one shadow time, while alone in my room, I felt him staring down at me. Appear, I thought to myself. I want to see you. Suddenly, without warning, he manifested. He said, I am here. And as my eyes gazed upon him, I felt a surge of energy run through my body. My stomach quivered with excitement, and a chill went up my spine. He looked at me and proceeded to tell me that he was indeed Al-Qidar, and that he was known by many other names, the Ancient of Days, Nabi Qidar, Father Time, Sheikh Qidar, Melchizedek, Maliki Sadiq, Murdoch, and Michael. Yes, he was Michael, son of Enki and Damkina, the head of the Anunnaki who waged war against the bad Anunnaki, Azazel, later called Iblis, Jan, Satan, Devil, those who were created of 180 degrees of evil fire, who rebelled when the foundation of the world was being established. He said that he was also the head of the material order of Anunnaki to which the Essenes belonged. The Essenes, he said, were a group of people who lived around the Jordan area, all around Jerusalem, and who taught the lesser mysteries as opposed to the greater mysteries. He also spoke of Master Yahshua. For like me, he was an Elamuttajazar avatar who was caught between two worlds. Remember I told you all that I was in Solomon's temple and Malachi was teaching Amun-Rayay at that time, and he made eye contact with me. I was standing up against the back wall because it was so crowded. And he jumped down off the stage, and them Negroes parted like the Red Sea. He walked all the way back to me and looked up into my eyes and said, you having trouble because you belong to two worlds. And then he turned around and walked away. And I said, you too. And he threw up the pointer finger on his right hand and just walked away. He said, Master Yahshua belonged to the ancient mystical order of Melchizedek. In the last days, he said, I, Al-Qidar, will intervene for the special people when evil comes to triumph. I will use you as my vessel to communicate my message of the green light. Fascinated by these words that caressed my overjoyed soul, I knew I had found a friend, someone I could depend on. He remained silent for a moment, as if in deep contemplation, and then he told me that I would be given an initiation, which would prepare me for all that I would encounter as the spiritual guide of human beings. He told me that I would be summoned when it was time, and I would then have to journey to Sudan and seek him at the junction of the two Niles. Now, in 1981, I was in San Diego, California, acting as the Ansar Imam over the city, when I was told that I had to be there to meet Al-Qadar, or Dr. Malachi'S, while I was still 30 years old, because 30 is the numerical value of lamb. And that goes to saying that there was a lamb that stood on Mount Zion, and with him 144,000 with their father's name written in their foreheads. So you all too will have those green light 6-pointed stars and crescent in your forehead before this is over. Right? He told me that I would be summoned when it was time. I was summoned when I was 30 years old, and would then have, and I'm 70, almost 75 now, and I would then have to journey to Sudan and seek him at the junction of the two Niles. So what I forgot to tell you all when I was speaking about my initiation is that when that room turned into white light and I was afraid to step, the floors and walls and ceiling was all pure white light, that I had been transformed to the junction of the blue and white Niles, and I was initiated by Melchizedek, just as all the prophets had before me, right? And Malachi was initiated the same way. He told me that, and I told you all that he had just got back from Sudan and Kordofan when he brought my signet ring, the one that is inscribed in Arabic Fusa that says, Allah is Ahmed. Now that didn't make a lot of sense to me. And under the bottom, it has inscribed in Arabic, Ansar. And that's when he gave me that book, Sahar gave me that book off a perforated hole in yarn hanging on the door, Muhammad Ahmed, the only true Mahdi. And he said, when you get this book and ring, you will remember. But I didn't remember. I was still under the spell. Okay, thereafter, he referred to the section of the Quran, which speaks about his meeting with the Elohim Moses in the 69th degree, which was changed to the 18th degree, verses 60 to 62, and his meeting with Master Abraham in the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 18, at the Ediglit Feratu, or as you say, the Tigris-Euphrates River. Then he explained the meaning of the sacred water, the fire, and the sacrifice. As he departed, he told me that he would not see me for a while, but that when I needed him, he would be there, and he was gone. Months passed before I heard from him again, and during that time, my life took a drastic change. It was as if I were a huge magnet drawing all kinds of people towards me. And that happened. I was Ahmed at that time, Imam Ahmed. Answers to questions I never thought I could answer started pouring forth out of my mouth. My earth family was amazed. It was obvious at those moments that someone of great wisdom had inhabited my body, and that through me he was speaking. Now the tablets will tell you that the Most High, Al-Hayu, speaks through me, and he explains things to his creation through this light. There were times when I would sit in my room and cry because I felt I was being asked to do something I did not understand. I felt at times if I had no control over my actions, my thoughts, and wondered if I could indeed give sight to those who appear blind, give hope to those who appear hopeless, and bring faith to those who appear faithless. And most of all, Teach them to walk in love, not hate or fear. Teach them to walk in light and not evilness. Could I remove the veil from before their eyes, that they once were back into the Elohim? I asked myself so many questions, I began to think I was going crazy. Sheikh Kedah had not made his presence known to me in so long that I began to wonder whether I had imagined everything that had happened. Did I indeed see this majestic being? Was he real, or was he a real figment of my imagination? But he was real, all right, for whenever that strong sense of insecurity would overshadow me, I would feel Al-Qaddar's presence, and he would comfort. Finally, in the lunar login of the night, now this is in 1973, right? Finally, in the lunar login of the 1973rd year of the Gregorian calendar, I was summoned to take my journey. I was told to go to the Sudan, and that once there, I was told to go to the Grand Temple in Khartoum and seek a human being by the name of Mahmoud. That's me, the three Mims, Ahmed in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmoud in the end. Ahmed, before the prophet actually came, Muhammad, 2, son of Abilene and Amina when he was here, and Mahmoud, 3, when he had finished his mission. So again, the tablets tell you that I have my own personal mission, right? I don't want you to say, Amun said, right. As I prepared for my journey, I was very excited, for I realized, turn this fan off me, for I realized that this journey would mark a change in me that would affect not only my life, but the lives of all the people I touched. I knew that the journey would be a long and tiresome one, but I faced everything that was to come with great anticipation. When I arrived in Sudan, I felt as if I had returned to my homeland. The month of June in Sudan marks the end of the hot summer months and the beginning of the rainy season. Therefore, the weather was not as hot as I expected it to be, but rather comfortable. In fact, the early hours of the daylight are rather cool. And during the afternoon, the sky is very clear and the sun is very bright. It is then that the great sun reached its peak in the dusk period, and just after the sun appeared to set, one is overwhelmed by the sight of the sky, for it looks as though it had been stroked by an artist's brush. Its color is vivid and red with shades of orange and yellow. There are no high buildings to hide the wonder of Anu. Therefore, you can watch the sun and the beauty that surrounded it until it disappears completely. It is a beautiful sight to behold. There are not many street lights in Sudan, but when the stars come, they are very bright against the blackness of the shadow time. The people of Sudan prefer to use lights only after it gets very dark, so that they can enjoy the beauty that nature bestows upon us so generously. Having settled down and relaxed for a few hours, I then went to the Grand Temple in Khartoum and sought out Mahmoud, as I was instructed to do. I did not know who Mahmoud was or what he looked like, but I knew I would find him. As I walked through the doorway of the masjid, I was fascinated by its beauty, and as I marveled at it, he put his right hand on my right shoulder, and then he said, I am Mahmoud. You are home. When I looked into his eyes, I saw depth. I saw pain, joy, and contentment. His face was wrinkled. His beard was white, and his complexion was golden in color. I thought I would have to tell him who I was, but I did not. He said, I am your spiritual guide. Everybody needs a spiritual guide, and therefore sit with me. I sat with him, and he took me through a whirlpool of information, a rainbow of colors, a spectrum of light, and octaves of sound. He filled my soul with so much information, I began to think he was my initiation. Once I was cleansed, I felt as if I was 7 feet tall. Mahmoud told me that I would be summoned when it was time for my initiation. He said I would have to travel to the junction of the 2 Niles as Sheikh Yadar had instructed me, and that once there, he would guide me to the sacred of initiation. He instructed me in how to prepare for the initiation and told me that I would have to be at the junction of the 2 Niles in the evening after the sun appears to set. But he did not tell me on what day. I returned to my dwelling, and on the following Thursday, I was summoned to go to the Nile. Several times on my way to the Nile, I saw a man that I thought was Mahmoud. On one occasion, a human being walked by me with a mule, and I said, "Ya Mahmoud." The man turned around and said, "I am not Mahmoud, but I know him, and I think he went that way." So I went in that direction. He pointed, then I saw another man that passed with a camel, and I said, "Ya Mahmoud." He said, "I am not Mahmoud, but I know him." He's talking about me, and went that way, and painted and pointed into a different direction. Before long, I had walked north, south, east, and west. I started to feel discouraged. I thought I would never find Mahmoud or the junction of the 2 Niles. Right? I sat down, and while sitting, I could not help but notice how beautiful my surroundings were. The ground where I sat was flat and green, and there were lively trees all around me. I could see people in the distance and little huts at a place called Tuti today, huts which were used by mystics for kalwa, or seclusion, as religious studies. As I was admiring the beauty of the land, I saw a man stripping down beside his herd of sheep. As I looked closer, I saw that it was Mahmoud. When I approached him, he told me, "You are assigned to human beings." I remained silent for a moment, thinking about what just happened, and later I said, "I thought I was supposed to meet you at the junction of the 2 Niles. He replied, "You are at the junction of the 2 Niles. I don't remember how I got there. Right when I was in Brooklyn, I don't remember how I got there. Mahmoud and I spoke for a while, and then suddenly I felt a sensation rising inside of me. He said, "Step." I took one step, and immediately I was transformed from that state before a tremendously beautiful temple. The temple had a long hallway of doors, and its floor was of marble. He said, "Follow me," and I did. As he took me down that majestic corridor, we approached the door. That's that door. When he gave me my initiation of faith in brief, in detail, Amun-Rayay, wa Malachi'S, wa Kitabihi, wa Rasulihi, wa Yomi Alikari. I believe in Allah's books, angels, and messengers in the final and last day, right? And he opened that door, and there before me was a huge room. The walls of the room were white, and they appeared to emit a soft, flowing light. That's the room I went in with him, and all the walls and floors and ceiling turned into white light, right? The room was bare except for 12 rugs, which were arranged in such a manner that they formed a large circle. In the center of the circle were 3 rugs. I was told to sit in the center on the middle center, sit in the center of the circle on the middle rug. I had a vision for many years that I was standing on Malachi'S left side and somebody else was on the right side of him. It was 3 of us standing there, but I always kept trying to look around and see who that was on the right side, but I never could see him. But I know who that is now. That's Muhammad, right? So that Malachi is one of the 3 Mims. You understand me? Right. And, okay, after the initiation, as we were preparing to leave the temple, Mahmoud signaled to the sky. I looked up, and there in the great splendor, I saw a lotus. In the center of the lotus was a 7-pointed star resting in a crescent. That's that green light six-pointed star and crescent y'all see in my forehead. Within the seven-pointed star was an inverted heart and the word Hua inscribed in its middle. All around that symbol there was a green light wavering brighter and brighter against the dark violet hue of the sky. I was elated. Mahmoud then proceeded to explain the meaning of the symbol and told me that it would be the seal of the universal order of love, the Sufi order of the sons of the green light. He said that this order would come forth during a time of great turmoil to restore hope in the hearts of human beings, thereby teaching him the essence of his true nature. As the sun is the axis of the solar system, he said, and all the planets revolve around it, so will you be the axis of the earth, and all the people will revolve around you. Give me that water there, Mr. Hotep. Please. You will be their spiritual guide, and you will nourish them with love and wisdom. Right here. Hence, your name will be Al-Kuft, the axis, the spiritual guide. And then I was given the sign of the cosmos, which following my initiation, I returned to my dwelling. As I was preparing to return to New Babylon, America, I was told to go to Egypt, Mitzrayim, for another initiation. Excuse me. Got a little parched right there. When I arrived in Egypt, Mitzrayim, I was told to go to the Great Pyramid at Giza, where I would have to pass the test of humans. I guess by now you all know that he and I are one. When I arrived in Egypt, Mitzrayim, I was told to go to the Great Pyramid in Giza, where I would have to pass the test of humans. We arrived at a pyramid where none of us knew our guide. He was the wisest of the wise, standing at the threshold of the entrance. Now let's figure out who this wisest guide was. But I know that in the Man of Many Miracles, Malachi moved the star for some brothers in Brooklyn, right? He didn't move the universe like I do, but he did move the stars. The Elohim, with a comforting voice, reminded us of the test before us. He said, trust in Allah and everything. Have patience, though you don't see a thing, it does not mean metamorphosis. It is not destined to manifest. Ever so eager to enter the pyramid and pass the test, we barely listened. He said, anything that you wish or feel you would need, merely think this thing, and it will be manifested before you. I, being one of the 24, reflected back on earthly needs. Quilts manifested before our eyes, and heavier garments, they too manifested. We need wicker stones, thinking that we had passed because we didn't ask for candles. We will need dry foods. Again, feeling agreeable with ourselves, but not asking for fruits and vegetables and quails. Oh, water. We'll need plenty of water. We need papyrus to write our sayings on, and we'll need quills to write with, and of course, ink. And by this time, we were all well weighed down with our needs. And the guide, with a slight smile, said, you are about to enter into the doorway of your first test. And the door raised from the bottom upwards, and all we saw was darkness. Stepping through first, the Elohim assured us that it was safe. I rushed second only to find the first step was a long slope that would hasten the speed by the pull of gravity, equals MC square, right? Equals 16 feet per second square as a result of having such a heavy load. When I arrived at the bottom, I saw that it was already light. Nor was it cold, nor was I dehydrated, nor in need of food. I heard a voice say, you now have failed the first test. Spinning to the Elohim to ask, what do we do now after I shed myself of all the unneeded weight? He smiled and repeated, what do we need now? You have now failed the second test. Immediately a wall I noticed before my eyes, and I heard a voice from the other side and remembered that it was the Elohim's voice. It called and said, all that you seek to know and will ever need to know about the humans is on the other side of this wall. Immediately, my eyes scaled from corner to corner, center, top to bottom. It was a huge onyx-like wall that appeared to have no entrance. I asked, how shall I get to the other side? And the voice from the other side answered, you have failed the third test. Immediately enraged, I thrust myself out of anger with myself at the wall, only to find myself on the other side, in triple darkness. For as my pupils dilated, I saw nothing but the first stage of darkness. I blinked and opened my eyes slowly to look at my immediate environment. Still I saw nothing. Second degree of darkness. My eyes turning to them reflect back in the optic nerve, then to my own heart. Third degree of darkness, but I saw a long forgotten friend, fear. He called out to me. I yelled, but no answer. A voice inside said, you failed the fourth test. I began to run forward, but he called to me, this could be a cliff. I stopped. The voice inside said, you have failed the fifth test. I began to step sideways and feel. He called out to me, this could be an edge. I found myself caressing him in fright. A voice that said, you have failed the sixth test. Thinking only at this point of the one helper, I yelled out, oh Allah, help me. Up ahead, the size of the great teacher's ring. Remember I told you all, after my initiation, he was sitting on the throne, and he had 3 tribal marks on his cheek, and he had a signet ring just like mine, but I looked at his ring, and his ring kept getting bigger and bigger, and I asked him, why is your ring so much bigger than mine? Ignorant, right? And he just grinned and smiled with those big white teeth. He said, because I had it a very long time. Yeah. Up ahead, the size of the great teacher's ring, I saw a speck of light. In joy, I ran toward it. As I approached the light, its size increased. Thrusting myself head on into it, I found myself back outside at the threshold of the pyramid. The Elohim said, you failed the 7th test. And with that same smile on his face, I said, in failing the 7th test, okay, he said, and with that same smile on his face, he said, in failing the 7th test, you have passed the first test. For now you know what it feels like to be a human. And I went through that last night. I want to tell you all how horrible it was. And we are about to enter into your first test. Anything that you feel that you need or will need for your test, merely pick it, and it will manifest. Turning to Elohim with his smile on my face, I said, I already have Allah. I need nothing. I passed the test. Right? Right. And I want to know and open the floor for questions. Right? Anybody have questions that they'd like to ask or curious about?
Well, that I'm on.
Yes. Oh, Danny.
I don't have a question. I'm just saying Rahul back. Katat.
Oh, okay. Katat. All right. I know that you sounded like O'Danny because he got relatives in Jamaica. I love you.
You got the package correct.
Say it again.
You got the package correct.
Yes, I did.
This call is being recorded.
Yes, I did. And we're expecting another one. I have some tracking numbers.
This call is no longer being recorded.
I want to call out for Walter and Aaron. Did you all get packages yet, Walter and Aaron?
Yeah, I have my package. I'm on.
All right.
I haven't received mine yet.
Did you get yours yet?
Not yet. I'll get the tracking number from you though.
Okay. All right.
Ready.
Okay. And Cheryl in London, could you kind of describe your package that I think you received? Anukas was telling me.
Yeah, I received my package.
Are you satisfied with it?
Yes, it's quite a lot of information, a lot of books and discs as usual. So yes, there's a lot for me to go through.
I love you, and I just hope that you enjoy it. right?
I will.
Okay. Okay, the identification, right? Anybody have any questions before I go on?
I have a question.
I do.
I'll do my best.
Yes, you mentioned that there were three rugs in the middle of the 12.
Say it again now.
You mentioned that there was 3 rugs in the center of the 12 rugs?
Yes, Malachi took the center spot. And I know that in my vision that I had for years, I was on his left side and Muhammad was on his right side, right? And Muhammad smelled of rose and I smelled of musk. And I thought it was strange because all my life I used Egyptian musk. You understand? Here on earth, right? Before I knew it was a holy tablet. You follow me? Isn't that something?
I'll fall on the side. Thank you.
I love you. Okay. Anybody else before I go on?
Yes, I have one. I have a question.
Tracking number.
I'll do my best.
No, I was asking about the tracking number.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry, brother. You go ahead.
No, it's cool. Okay, I wanted to know, I kind of got an idea, but I don't want to assume. So, when Yemen met Mahmud in Sudan, and we know it's Muhammad at birth, Ahmed in prophecy, Mahmud in the end, that was in 1973.
Yes.
So, can you explain to us
why
Mahmud
I didn't
in
meet
the
him
end?
I didn't meet him in the physical until 1981 because your spirit is always vibrating faster than your flesh, son. For example, people are pronounced dead in heaven 40 days before they actually physically die on earth by the angels. Are you following me? And when you have dreams, a lot of times you see things happen and you think it was just a vivid dream. But maybe a week or so later, you walk in the earth plane, and that same thing unfolds in front of you. And you tell the person next to you, hey, I saw this in my dream a week ago. My question to you is how can you remember the future if it haven't happened yet? And the answer is, just like John was exiled on the Isle of Patmos, and he was taken up in the spirit on the Lord's day, that means he was vibrating fast, and he could see the future, not a couple of weeks, but 2,000 years in advance. And that's how he wrote the book of Revelations in the Bible. You hear me?
I follow.
Because it was Jesus that sent his angel, which was the angel Michael, titled Melchizedek, to his servant John on the Isle of Patmos to reveal to him things which must shortly come to pass. Now, one day to the Most High is 1,000 days to you here on earth. So that things that Jesus thought would shortly come to pass was actually 2,000 years in your future. Are you following me?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're on a different timeline, Aaron. And it's amazing how some of you guys still got your name. Aaron was Moses' elder brother, and James was a disciple of Jesus. You follow me? And many of you all see what I told you is that the 144,000 are gathering again for the reawakening of the elite few, the chosen, because the Most High sent 124,000 prophets, 315 apostles, and one Mahdi, right? Ahmed. And there are roughly 19,000 more. There are roughly 19,000 more incarnate in the last days to round off that 144,000. That's why they prefix the awakening with R-E, the reawakening, because you all have obviously been awake before. You guys, all those Moses, James, and Aaron, and all that of the ancient days. And you're returning now, and we're helping to reawaken you. Do you understand? That's why many of you have been on this seeking the truth for so long. That driving force inside of you to find out who you are but every flower blooms in its own season. So you're just waking up now. You're beginning to wake up now. Are you following me? Right.
Sure.
But you experienced a lot of trial and error. You follow me?
Sure.
You took a long walk on a short path, but you're finally arriving at your destination, right?
Sure. Sure.
Okay.
Follow.
Yes.
I was just agreeing, Miss I.
Say it again.
Miss Kim, I was just agreeing to what you were saying.
I love you. I love you. You know I love you, Kim.
Yes, I do. I love you too.
Yes. And I really appreciate you. I know what it took to write that testimony about the illness that you were healed from through me that was incurable. So I tip my celestial hat to you again, and I'll never forget that. Because like I said, that took a lot of courage. You hear me?
Yes, I do.
So bless your soul for that. And everything you do, because you work hard to bring new people in, and it don't always work out. But, the numbers are 999 to the fire and just 1 to the garden. Are you following me?
Yes, I'm following.
So it's only, you're going to save 1 out of 1,000. Are you following what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
And those are bad odds, but we have to keep on fighting the good fight, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Yes. And that's something that you do. Okay. The identification.
I have a question before we continue.
Say it again.
Oh, okay.
It's 10:22. Oh, I don't have time to go into that next. But I was going to go into how he actually had his initiation. And, wow, it's very similar to what I went through. Except that Imam Issa at that time had the angel Michael placed seated firmly in his heart, right? So he was my initiation. Are you following me? Because the same Melchizedek that John saw on the Isle of Patmos with the light and the strength and the sun shining in his countenance and his great strength, that's what I saw too when I met him in Brooklyn, right? And then when he took me into that room by myself, just he and I, and we went down into sujud, prostration, right? As we were in the school of Islam. And then when I raised back up, I was confused because the room disappeared. It was no floors and walls and ceiling, just only light. And I was scared to step because I didn't know where I was upside down or where I was. When you're surrounded by nothing but light, you don't know where you're at. But that is the same light that Ahmed told Gabriel in tablet 14 of chapter 6 that asked him had he ever seen Allahu Aliyu, the Most High. And Gabriel went back and shot up to the throne of Allahu Aliyu, and he saw that great light, and the veil started opening up again, and all that light was there. And then Gabriel saw some faint movement inside that light. And Al-Hayu, the Most High, asked, do you see what that was, Gabriel? Do you see who it is? I am who I am. Here, Asa-Ea, I am that I am, right? And look deep inside this light. You see 3 Mims, Ahmed in birth, Muhammad in prophecy, and Mahmud in the end. So that's what you all call the Trinity. And Yanun is one of the three Mims, and myself and Muhammad. Ahmed, Muhammad, and Mahmud. All right?
Ooh.
All right. Now, Brother James, are you still here?
Yes, sir. Yes,
all
sir.
right.
I'm locked in.
I love you. I need you to step outside and tell me what you see in the sky. And everybody else, please step outside in Africa and Canada and London and wherever you are. You follow me? But I'd like Brother James, because I want to fulfill a promise to him, because he's been on a search so long, he needs to know he's finally home. And it's real.
All right, right above me, like it, right above me, I'm like over the building where I actually stayed in these apartments where a chair actually came over the building, and I actually stayed right inside this building.
Okay, what do you see up there?
So right now, I see a real bright star. I see about 2 bright ones, and a few of them clustered around.
Wait a minute now, James, pick the brightest one. Let me and fix your eyes on it.
That's what I'm doing now.
All right, I see it. Now, I'm going to make that star move to the left in the name of Amun. Move to the left in the name of the Messiah. Now move up and move back to the right. Let us know what you see, James.
All right, I'm looking at it. I see it slightly moving, but it's like I'm focusing on it.
All right. Well, let me make it move in a circle, clockwise, counterclockwise. We're going to make it move counterclockwise.
All right, I'm looking.
All right. Now clockwise.
All right.
You see it, huh?
Yeah, I see some kind of action going on that they wasn't doing at first.
Yeah, that's me. Do you see the moon out there?
No, not at the moment. Let's step down some more.
I was gonna say it again.
Okay, no, I don't see any. I don't see the moon at the moment, but I'm looking at this star.
That star you focusing on, I'm gonna make it come closer to you, James. All right? It's gonna start coming down towards you. Okay. Now I'm gonna make it go back out.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna make it. Yeah, you see it, huh? Now.
Yeah, I seen it go back.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, but you're just tuning in, James. You've been asleep for a long time. You understand? It's gonna be really. I'm gonna have you moving stars and moons before long. But look, I'm gonna raise that star up.
And look, I'm testifying because I'm sitting here looking at it make the reaction.
That's right. And now I'm gonna make that star drop down. You follow me?
It kind of got like a, like it got a glitch. Like it's kind of,
that's right. That's my
some rotation.
But you're gonna start dialing in, James, and it's gonna get clearer and clearer to you. Well, it's so clear that you're gonna be able to do it yourself, right? Because you were one of my disciples.
Yeah.
And they used to call
you.
That's right.
Whoa! This star moving. It's moving right now.
I understand.
But it was they lined up. It was the one that was in front of me at first. Now the one behind me just instantly moved into rotation, and I'm sitting here looking at it visually.
James. It's true. I know it's real, but you know, James was one of my disciples, and they called you all the sons and daughters of thunder at that time, because what the Bible didn't tell you is that you all were raised up to perform miracles just like me, just like Jesus. You understand? Y'all walked on water. You know that's true because Simon Peter walked on the water to Jesus, right? On the Sea of Galilee. You remember that? Now, of course,
yes, I do remember that.
The storm was kind of wild and the sea was choppy, so he cast his glance to the side for an instant and he began to doubt, and he started sinking, and he was close enough to Jesus for the master to grab his hand and pull him back up and say, "Oh, ye of so little faith." You know what I mean? But he did walk all the way from the boat to Jesus. You understand?
Right. It was only when he lost focus where he started to sink.
And many of you all raised the dead and did all those things. Are you following me? But the white man took all that out of Scripture. That's right. And we back, and we're going to be performing miracles and healing people and all that again. I'm doing it already. And how many of you all are moving stars and moons and things like that right now?
I am.
When it's clear.
That's right.
I am Messiah.
That's right.
I am.
Correct, too.
That's right. That's right. And all of you that are not doing it yet, you soon will be. If your faith is pure, if you hold on to the rope, and you have faith without a doubt. Remember, it was Joshua, Jesus, that always said when people asked to be healed by him.
This call is no longer being recorded.
He would say, do you believe that I can do this thing, right? And they replied in the affirmative, yes, I believe. And then he would say, by your own faith may you be made whole. Are you following me? But he didn't need their permission to heal them, you follow? But the thing is that he required it of them. You follow me? So you have to have faith. You have to have belief, you know? And whenever two or more get together in anything, it is possible. Now, who else? Cheryl in London, what do you see in the sky?
It's cloudy here.
Oh, it's cloudy? Well, the clouds.
Press star 1 to claim host privileges for this meeting. Press star 6 to mute or unmute yourself.
We're gonna move
star 9 to
the
raise
clouds
or lower your hand.
to the left in the name of Amun-Rayay. I just wanted to do that for you, Cheryl, because I love you. It's a brother from Africa here. Okay. Or Danny in Canada, or anybody from the islands, or Kim in California, or in Texas.
It's Kim Messiah. It's overcast in Florida right now.
It's overcast? Okay, what about Melody and Keith Amun, your sisters? Are they here?
I see one, Messiah.
All right, and where are you located?
Here.
This is Ivory.
Good. Please step outside. It's your night tonight. Brother, where are you located? In Chicago?
No, in Texas. This is Ivory.
In Texas. Oh, okay, it's Ivory. All right, what do you see?
This star right above my head.
All right. We're going to make that star go in a circle in the name of Amun-Rayay.
It's happening.
That's right.
It's moving up.
Yeah. And we're going to make it drop down.
It's up and down fast.
Yeah, dropping down fast. I see it. And raising up.
It's going up fast. We're going in a circle now. You can see it.
I love you. All right, Melanie, what do you see in the sky?
Thank you, Messiah.
I love you. What do you see, Melanie? And your other sister, Amun?
Jet, it's cloudy. It's really foggy out here today.
Oh, all right. Your other sister, what does she see?
She might have had to go back to work if she's not responding.
I follow you. All right. What do you see, Unc, in Texas? Seems like it's rain, like Brooke Benton said, raining all over the world, huh?
I don't have any visibility here on Moon. I don't have visibility here in Texas.
Wow, wow, that's unusual. But anyway, I'm just glad James and Zyrie and whoever else was there to bear witness. I love you all. I really do. And James, Walter, could you give him my email so he could email a testimony of what he learned tonight? And I'll send him back in return a lot of links to DVDs and CDs as a gift for me to give him a start on his spiritual studies so we can accelerate his spiritual growth, all right, as a gift from me, okay?
Will do. James, take down my number if you don't mind.
All right, let me get a moment. I'm still tripped out about this star movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, you're going to see more things than that, James.
Yeah, I'm like, wait a minute now.
Huh?
All right, I'm taking the number down now.
Give it to him, Walter.
510. I got you. It's 510.
853.
Oh, 5.
85.
It's 5. I heard 510.
Yeah, that's right. 510. 853. 2472.
Got it.
Thank you, Amun.
All right.
And just call me right after class, and I'll give you all the information, okay?
I love you. And when you call me, Amun,
Bye.
I love you all. I want to give you your tracking number. All right?
Okay, Amun.
And good night, Cheryl, and everybody. I love you all more than you could possibly love yourselves. We're back.
We love you more.
Nietzsche affirmed Amun-Rayay, Asa, the real Messiah and servant to the 144,000. Yes, it's real. Very real. Peace.